Hello everyone, I am Tacit and welcome to the Gems of War Campaign 8, Week 8, Day 2. So today, of course, we have ourselves the faction event going on for the faction of, actually I completely forget, it's in the title, the Warrens. Actually, this is a pretty noteworthy place because I mentioned on the Monday video yesterday. Obviously, yesterday was Monday, but yeah, in the weekly video. But anyways, the most noteworthy thing about this is whenever you... Oh, you Sacred Treasure. Nice. That's pretty nice. Aside from that, the most noteworthy thing about this place is for whatever reason, the final fight gives you arcanes. So you might notice here, it gives one arcane trait stone. It is the only faction in the entire game that gives arcanes. Unfortunately, it's the same one every time, green-yellow. However, if you are in need of any amount of green-yellow arcanes, you could basically get infinite from this faction. You know, not literally infinite, but every single time you run through it, you will end up getting green-yellow arcanes, making it the only one in the entire game where any battle, let alone the final one, ends up specifically giving you any amount of arcanes. Like, there's a lot of them that gives you, like, runics, if I could find one. Like, that one has some standard trait stones that were just in. This one has a runic, as I was just talking about. However, none of them have arcanes, except for Warrens. Warrens has it on the very last fight, and it is the only one that does. I'm not sure why it is like that, but it is. And, yeah, that's a factor. A little bit weird that that is how it is set up, but it is indeed the way it is. Anyways, with that being said, I don't believe we have too many other objectives to really hit out. Of course, we still have the weekly event, which honestly, I might want to start with this. Wait, did we not even throw our, Oh, you know what? Let's start with this. We didn't even throw any of our ward event battles. I was like, wait, how have we not even started? Okay, well, let's go do so. We do have our team ready to go. Actually, that's the cheaper team. I do want to use the more expensive one. So if I'm not mistaken, this is rarity order with the one exception that we have to go for that one goat, that new goat that ended up coming out. So let me go grab the team from World Events. I'm going to grab the beefier one, and we should be good to go. Then again, I don't know. We could basically just go straight into Blade Dancer. Is there like any amount of empower that we could do straight into Blade Dancer? Because it might actually be the most effective strategy for the earlier fights when we could still get away with it. So was it Sky? Yeah, it was Sky Goat. So Sky Goat is by far the highest priority, and then it goes rarity order. So that is the one that we do want to end up taking. However, before I do this, Blade Dancer is so broken for this event, I actually want to check to see if we have anything. We don't. We can kind of do it with that 75% mana start, so you know what? We actually do. What's his name? Swift. His name isn't Swift, however, that is the effect we need. And there we go. It does get completely blocked, however, Enchant will make up for it, so he should have full mana. I think it does off of 11. How much mana do you get off of 75% of 11? Because depending on how it rounds, if it's 8, it might be 8. Because 8's not full mana. Well, it's still turn 2 full mana, so yeah, it's still full mana. Never mind. It's fine. We put Trickster in last slot, we run this team, we're good. We don't need to change anything else. It is perfectly fine. All right, so we're making one adjustment to our original team. Probably one I should have made to begin with, but I just figured, hey, double Beatrix, so will go pretty well, very light into the thing. So, but this is actually a bit more of a organized team. Also, I need the medal. Oh, I do not have... Oh, I didn't claim the rewards yet, did I? Whoops. Let me go claim them. Claim all these, and it should upgrade our badge. I probably shouldn't even need to adjust it. Though, just to make sure that it did indeed put it in the correct location and then put one of the weaker badges there. Yep, there it is. Okay, just making sure. Probably didn't need to check that. I had a feeling it would be there, but you never know. Game does some weird things sometimes. Anyways, so let's go kill all the Sky Goats. So this is a weird room where the Sky Goat actually starts with less amount of points, but it increasingly goes very high, very quick. So you definitely want to prioritize taking it. But anyways, hello everyone. Hope all you've been having a wonderful day so far. Hello, Isabel. Also, quite a few of you were here for the earlier stream. Of course, Puzzle Quest 3 launched today. We were doing a stream for that. We're currently going through the entirety of the storyline, reading the whole thing. We got through chapters 1 to 4 while doing some other things today. Tomorrow's goal is to hopefully get to around chapter 13 or so. Depends how long it takes to get through it and read it all. And then on Thursday, we'll be finishing whatever's left, which should probably, ideally, be only 14 and 15, though it might be 13, 14, and 15, depending on how it goes. And that's pretty much the plan for that. But, yeah, well, we've been having a wonderful day. Hello, Defiant. Hello, Mister. Hello, Bill. Hello, Genki. Also, the people actually finished the front porch today, which is nice. Though they are going to be doing the siding, so hopefully they're not too noisy. But once they finish the siding, I believe that is the last thing that they need to do. And then it's done. Then we don't need to deal with them. So they should be done easily before the end. Well, definitely within like the next week or two. Probably next 2 weeks. I'm not sure exactly how the next thing will take. I believe they already have the supply, so they're not waiting on anything. It's more so just a matter of actually doing it, which they are getting around to. Also, hello Genki, hello Defiant, Hoveness, say hello to. Hello Barbara, hello Rojan, hello Gimli, hello David, hello Mister, hello Daddy Shark, hello Barbara, hello Hoveness, hello to. Hello Peter, hello Cookie, hello Tyrion. Let's see. Corporate asked me to tell the difference between this game and that game. There's no difference. To some people, there actually is no difference. I would say Gems of War is the better game, though. If I had to choose between the two, it's not even close. But I feel like Puzzle Quest 3 could get there in time. I just feel like it's in a very incomplete state. Although I guess that kind of explains the early access. But even for early access, it's pretty incomplete. But anyways, storyline for it's been pretty fun, if nothing else. Hello, Gadget. Hello, Crisp. Hello, Sushi Ninja. Hello, Jonathan. Hello, everyone else. And hello, everyone who hasn't said hello. Welcome, everyone. Anyways, let's keep killing everything with Blade Dancer, as that is the whole premise of this team. I almost feel like putting Blade Dancer in first slot, though that's a little overkill. Though is also very tempting. Oh, what do we need here? Yeah, I probably should put him in first slot. Though, at the current moment in time, our weapon is also one-shotting the entire enemy team. But, you know what? I'm going to do it. For these very early battles, we can get away with it. You don't want to keep it there. But at our current needs, that does function to allow us to auto-win slightly quicker. Because it'll be a while before... Oh, he already stopped one-shotting. I was going to say, it's going to be a while before he stops one-shotting. But I think that's because we did some damage there. Alright, new plan. We're going back to how we originally were. He immediately failed us. Though, the main reason he did immediately fail us was because of that skull damage. But, you have lost your first slot privileges. He's still really good. It's just, the scroll damage made it so he didn't have enough armor boost ratio to clear out the rest of them. He basically only gets to cast once, and that's it. He gets one cast, and that is the total amount of casts he is allowed to do before he becomes useless. Though in most situations, he's just going to win with that one cast. However, sometimes he won't. Any word on the patch? Oh yeah, I have no clue if it's going to be today. It might be, it might not be. Has anyone seen it yet? Honestly, if it doesn't happen in like the next 5 minutes, it's probably not happening. And I have a feeling, given that they launched Puzzle Quest 3 and that the fact we have a weird event this weekend, we're just having a repeated defaction, I think it's not happening this week, which means it's guaranteed pretty much next Tuesday. It almost can't even be a different day at this point. It might as well just be 100% confirmed at this point if it's not today. What am I looking for? I'm looking for Gems of War. Gems... Oh yeah, I forgot the E thing doesn't work. Gems of War. But yeah, I've tried cleaning it out and everything. That E key still does not want to work. Luckily I have double keyboard. Anyways, forum. Oh wait, I don't want forum. No, go to patch. Because it will actually appear here before it even appears on the forum anyways. Patch notes. There is no 6.2 yet. Though that also means it's probably not coming. But yeah, no patch. I am extremely doubtful on patch now. I still wish it to be so. But I kind of assumed that earlier. It would be very unlikely for them to launch both Puzzle Quest 3 and do a Gems of War patch on the same day. I assumed they would do it the week before, as in last week, which is why the video was titled as such and everything. Though, then I thought they might do it this week. It's like, oh, maybe they'll do both of them at once. But at this point, it's pretty much like near confirmed next Tuesday. Unless it is going to pop today, but I highly, highly doubt it. The main thing that makes me doubt it is this weekend's event is something very weird. And it wouldn't have been that if the patch was going to come out, this Tuesday. Because they ended up changing this about a day ago, after I already did the video though. But they ended up changing this to a Friday faction event. We have a Friday faction event for our first ever faction we've already had, which is Umbral Nexus. It is the first time a weekend faction event has ever repeated. And that's happening this weekend. So basically once that went up, it's like, oh yeah, they're probably not doing it. But there's still some hopes that it could happen. But at this point, it's pretty unlikely. Though it could still happen. Though it would have probably happened by now if it would have. Like, normally if a patch is going to drop, it would have been up like 10 minutes ago. Like, it's normally at 8, which is like 13 minutes ago, like, or a little after, because it takes some time to propagate onto each platform. But if it passes like 8:10 on a given day, you know, like 4 minutes ago, it's probably not happening. Well, next week's Tuesday. I'd be exceedingly surprised if it's not next week's Tuesday, though. Unless they're, like, so caught up in fixing Puzzle Quest 3. Though they've been doing it for a year and haven't done much, so... Not sure extra week would help them much. Not sure it would. Like another year or two would. Alright, that is almost enough to kill. The main reason we're not killing as well right now, by the way, is because we don't have the extra spell damage. I believe you need double metal to consistently kill with him. We're currently running single metal, which does substantially lower the amount of damage he does. Because similar to something like Tesla in one of these game modes, it does gain that extra spell damage to quite a ridiculously exponential degree. And you kind of need a second one to actually be able to secure a kill off of the amount of extra damage that you're doing. Because basically you're taking the 2-to-1 and just turning it to kill them back. Because let's say, for example, we have 2-to-1 just based on this armor. So let's say like 90 to 100 durability or so. Basically 90 to 100 ability. Well, I guess, let's say, to take this one, 90 to 120 or something. If you count just what we have, we're doing like, what, 160% more? But if you take the double of that and go for 320%, that's enough to cover its armor, it's enough to cover its HP, and it's enough to cover its HP to eclipse it. Which basically means you will kill. Currently, we don't have that much damage. Right now, we're basically doing its armor to itself, I believe, a little bit more than twice. Which, as you can see right here, is not actually enough to kill, like the last unit right here. Which we can even see just by casting. It would not be enough to actually kill. And that's pretty much the situation that we have going on here. But if we were to have the second one, it should be enough in a lot of situations. It does eventually stop killing. But you kind of need that second metal. And a third would, I think, always do it, though you'd have to buy pretty deep to have a third metal for the event. Normally you have 1 or 2, most likely 2, but if you buy tier 2, you normally only have access to 1, or 1 and a piece of 1. Which is not enough to kill them fully. Well, luckily that true damage kind of synergizes there, which is kind of nice, because that should actually kill. Because we had to, well, then again, yeah, the true damage does matter. I was going to say, does that matter? Because you're mixing damage. However, the reason why that actually matters, also Skygo is better than the higher rarities, by the way. But the reason why that actually ends up mattering is because of the, if it does true damage, he still gains boost ratio from the armor. Because the main thing he's getting his damage off is the armor. So like this 205 value we're getting right here is increased by whatever magic metals we have. Which is the main thing resulting in him doing so much damage. Because normally you wouldn't be able to raise that. Like if you raised your magic, you would not raise his boost ratio. However, you would if you had that spell damage increase. Similar to how Fairy Fire works. It allows you to exceed even further than where it would normally go. Yeah, once you have double metal, it becomes very broken. Even single metal, it's already kind of broken though. But yeah, double metal is when you really start to get enough to boost ratio down their entire HP. But you can't get it with tier 2. You'd have to get tier 3 or deeper, I believe. Which most people probably do. I've been going a bit cheaper on it just to conserve a little bit of gems. Because our guild's going to easily get it. Like, you can do tier 2 across your entire guild and get most of them done. The way that they've been scaled is a lot more lenient. Like, some of the world events earlier on in the days were really bad with how they had it scaled because you end up needing so many points. But these days, it's not that bad at all. You can end up doing it with tier 2 almost consistently every single time. So if your entire guild just did that, you'd be good to go. Of course, you can do more if you want. However, it's not really that required. Like there's some people on the forum that even mention like exactly how far you need to go every single time. And normally it's around tier 2. Sometimes it's even tier 1. I think sometimes, ever so occasionally, it's even 0 tiers. Where if you bought literally nothing, if you did every battle throughout the week, your entire guild would still get it done. Which is pretty insane. But it's been around like the 1 tier, 2 tier category a lot. Like I know some of the earlier ones, then you need to buy to like almost tier 5 or tier 6 across your entire guild or something. Like something absurd to get it done. But since the last few invasions, or you know, the first few invasions, I mean world events, they scaled them a lot better. They're a lot more lenient with how much you have to do of them across the guild. And they might have also done that for retention purposes, because they might have seen how many people were bothering to even go that far, so they figured, oh, let's do it around here, and that's good enough. Because they do have a lot of different game modes, and world event happens every single week, so they can't ever make it take too much time. And when they originally scaled it, it was taking too much time. Like, not to an ultra annoying degree, but, you you know, compared to a normal event, it was taking more time than, you know, like invasions or raids would have taken. And then they scaled it down to not require as many resources or time. Which is good because we have it almost every week. World event is the most common event these days, since almost every week has it, except for the occasional times when we have a journey event, which has happened literally once so far, as well as the occasional times where we have Tower of Doom. And those are between once every 11 weeks between the 2 seasons, which we have again in a couple weeks because this is week 8. So in 3 weeks from now, we will have the next Tower of Doom, since we won't have a world event that week, since it's the in-between week between seasons. Does it even matter anymore? Oh wait, what was Isabel saying? Oh yeah, Isabel could probably solo it for my entire guild. That is true. I am not surprised if literally no one did in my guild if Isabel just soloed it. She goes very far with it every time. And is greatly appreciated because we normally get it done like by Thursday normally because of that. Like she's at 3,215. How is that on leaderboard though? It's almost on leaderboard. Still a really high amount though that carries us every week. Because that's a really solid amount of points. Actually, where are we in this equation? Probably almost dead last because I'm literally dead last of anyone who's done their battles. But that's mostly because I forgot to do yesterday's battles because we were doing a bunch of other things. Also, our score might overall be slightly lower than a few other people because that one goat battle initially gives you way worse points. However, if you keep taking it, it's going to be way, way more points. So I might hit like a weird threshold where I have slightly less points because I took that goat one. However, it'll pay off in the next few days because as we keep going deeper and deeper, it gives more and more points for taking Sky Goat. So you do definitely want to prioritize Sky Goat. Because even if our points are lower this day, it'll be way, way, way higher by like Thursday or something. Especially if you plan on going for like leaderboard or something similar. You should only be taking Sky Goat. There's no point in taking anything else. Here's just all in on Sky Goat. Leaderboards for these leaderboards must be really weird though because they have a lot of variable factors that you can't control. It's definitely not a leaderboard I would really want to contest. Oh, Winged Bison actually isn't worth it. Nax is worth more than Winged Bison. The only ultra rare that's worth taking is the goat one. Otherwise, it's just rarity order. The 2 mythic rooms are scored slightly differently. However, based on when they start occurring, it doesn't actually matter to know which one is better than the other one. The main reason for this is because of you're never going to be locked out of them. Because right now, when we hit the next set every 15 battles or whatever it is, it's cycling off every single battle we currently have set and then replaces it with new ones. However, that doesn't occur when anymore once you've hit the final set. And the mythics don't come into play until the final set. So as long as you always take the goat on ultra rare, and then just do rarity order, you will always be taking the correct room. Because even though the 2 mythic rooms give different points, by the time you reach them, you're at a point where it doesn't refresh all the rooms anymore. So it's still, it wouldn't be relevant to know which one is better than the other. Which is one of the few instances where those things having different points actually isn't required to know. Because even if they are, even though they are, it has no effect on your points. Because by the time you reach that point, you be taking them automatically. Because you'd eventually just be clicking on one single room over and over again. That's not going to happen until we get a few rooms past the final switch. When we can start... Basically, once you can start seeing the mythics, you're at the point where as long as you keep taking every single goat you see and doing it in rarity order, you will just be eventually spamming the exact same room over and over again. Because you're eventually going to have every single room be just the ultra rares, and you're just going to be spam clicking the same spot. And we're getting pretty close to that point. Oh, so I probably should have taken that blue. I saw that there. Luckily, he didn't go for it. That's not enough damage. That's surprising. And it was killed off of Dustbringer. How many gems would it cost for one person to solo the whole thing? Too many. I was obviously joking when I said that earlier that Isabel could solo the whole thing. But, she always does the most. I can't remember the last time she hasn't done the most. Actually, I should probably go give her some gems. We got some more of those gifty things earlier. Hey, now we hit the mythics. So this is what I was talking about now. So we're at the point where you just take the winged goats and then the highest rarity order, with the goats being priority. And eventually you're just going to be at the point where all you're doing is spam clicking the same one. Probably this one will be the best one because it's closest to the confirm button. But you're eventually just going to get to the point where they're all winged bisons and you're just spamming one single location. And you ideally want that single location to be as far to the bottom just so you can click it a bit quicker. Not too big a deal, but it speeds things up slightly. Especially if you're doing a lot of battles. If you're just doing the standard amount like we are, probably almost barely matters, but I still like doing it. Saves a little bit of time. Makes it so you don't have to stretch as far to click with the mouse or with, like right here, we're almost going to get all winged bison, as I was just referring to. So eventually we're just going to be clicking this one button at the bottom over and over and over again. Because they're not going to reset anymore at this point. Let's see, we'll go through that down. Get our destroy in there, and they're all dead. Oh, so we're almost going to gain a level. And we'll go for this one. And that's probably our last sigil that we could do. Just increase mouse sensitivity. True, but I don't like having ultra-sensitive mouses. I feel like I can't control it that well if I turn the DPI up too much. Like, there becomes a point where it's just, like, unusable. Like, I find that with controllers, too. Like, there's a point where you make the sensitivity too high that you can't even really use it effectively for its original function. And I'm not a fan of doing that. Like, I have it... I'm actually not sure what DPI I currently have my mouse set to. I would need to go double check. But, I don't know. I tend to not set it, like, super high. I'd prefer to move it a bit more. So I can do, like, more smaller movements like this. Which actually for something like Gems of War is actually pretty convenient. Especially when I have the screen. Because I actually have the screen, even though you're looking at it in almost full screen. Well, I guess in there it's almost like the exact dimension that I have it in. But, I have this as windowed. So this isn't taking up, like, my full laptop screen. So it wouldn't make too much sense to be able to have, like, a DPI that can hit from, like, here to here, like, instantly. It's better to have, like, really small movements for, you know, gem moving purposes. As well as for just a lot of things that I do. But anyways, let's go set these back to normal. Let me go do the thing I said. Let me go give Isabel some gems. She's always in first place. We were talking about it. Might as well hand it out. I think we were sitting on, like, a dozen. Not going to hurt us to hand one out. I believe we got another 3 the other day as well. I don't really like giving it out for incentives to the guild. Though, oh gosh, we got 15 of them. Here, have 2 of them. Now we have 13. Yeah, give Isabel some of the gems back. She's always carrying the guild with, for the world event. Anyways, where were we? Let's go do, I didn't do the adventure board yet. Let's go clear this out. I probably only want this and I guess the gold. Phoenicia. So we'll clear these out, use the Phoenicia, and then the rest of the time, assuming we're not getting the patch, which at this point, it's probably not happening. If it's not up by now. Oh, that's not what I wanted. Whoops. Let's see. Nope, still none. That's the refresh. Yep, that's a double check on the refresh. There be no patch. Yeah, no problem, Isabel. 13's unlucky, though. 13's a baker dozen. I don't know, 13's a weird number. Isn't it both a lucky number and an unlucky number in some cultures? Actually, aren't there some Asian countries that they don't even have like a floor 13 because it's so unlucky for them? Like literally it goes from floor 12 to floor 14 or something. I know there's some countries that are like that. I can't remember which. Where like they literally don't even have a floor 13. Which that seems a bit excessive. To like literally pretend a number doesn't even exist. Is it floor? I don't know. I could have sworn that there was one culture where 13 doesn't exist. Like there's a lot of buildings that wouldn't even have a floor 13. Or maybe it is floor 4. I'm not sure. I could have sworn it was 13 though. And we're already here. Might as well claim these as well. Let's see. Your voice is a little hoarse. Too much talk. Oh, yeah. We've been talking all day. We've been doing voice acting for like 8 different characters for like 7 hours straight. I'll be doing it again tomorrow. And on Thursday. So we're going to have like no voice left. But yeah, we've been doing the voice for the entirety of every character in Puzzle Quest 3's storyline. I'll be finishing that tomorrow and on Thursday. Ah, they're all so bad. We'll try for Sky. Hey, we got it. Nice. We actually got it. And I will go hand out a code and then do the dungeon for the rest of the time. Or should I say the faction. Too many terms. Alright, we'll throw that down. Should be dead because of how it distributes its damage. And we're good to go. Okay, let's go ahead at the code, and then we'll go mess with this faction. Of course, the team that we're specifically going to be using is the one we mentioned on Monday. It's going to be running with standard Rowan. There's a few others you can do it with, but it's going down the Rowan route personally. Anyways, let me go find you guys that code and go get it to you guys. And then we'll go and mess with this faction for the rest of the time, as it seems we are not getting the patch tonight. That seems very likely to not occur at this point. Let's see, we'll save that. Though you never know, though it's very likely not to if it hasn't happened already. I mean, you never know, sometimes they do it at different times. Though if they wouldn't have done it by now, it probably isn't being done within the time frame of this stream. Because it's almost always like right after 8. Like almost exactly right after. But here you guys go. There is the redeem code. Use it on gemsofwar.com underneath the game code section. Your invite code could be found underneath your settings menu. Whatever your game says right over here is what you put in for your invite code. Redeem code is right over there in chat. It's copy paste of random numbers and letters starting with SG. And it gives the same order as always. True treasure maps, 1 gem key, 200 souls, and 2,500 gold. Only usable in the PC mobile version of the game. And definitely feel free to leave a like on the stream. Helps a lot and is greatly, greatly appreciated. Thank you, everyone. Also, I was really surprised. We did a poll in the earlier stream that got like 80 votes. Which is weird because I don't think we've ever had higher than like 30-something concurrent during the entire stream. Yet we somehow had like 80 votes for the poll. Which I find kind of funny. Because it ended with like 80-something votes. But we never had more than like 30-something views at any point during the stream. Which is just a weird combination. Which meant we had a really high cycle rate of people coming through the stream. Though it could have been people watching, you know, Puzzle Quest for the first time or something. Who might have wanted to see what the game was like. Anyways, as well as a bunch of you guys maybe checking out to see what the game was like. And then leaving almost immediately after. But we're still doing all the voice acting for the entire storyline. The best our very limited capabilities can over the next 2 days until it's done. Let's see. So if any of you don't want to play the game, you can at least listen to the story. Because the story is actually not that bad. Anyways, where were we? We were doing the faction. Let's go ahead over here. Throw our team in here. I'm really not a fan of the Warrens layout. I wouldn't say it's my least favorite layout of any faction. But it gives you too many options. And anytime a faction gives you too many options is kind of a bad thing. Because figuring out the optimal path just becomes very tiresome. To the point where you don't even bother trying to figure out which one is the proper path. It wasn't bots. There was no way that the bots were voting on it. I highly, highly doubt it. I've never seen the bots subscribe, and I've never seen the bots vote on a poll. Because you can check for both of them. Well, maybe not on the votes, but you can check for it for subscribe. And I've never once seen any of the bots hit the subscribe button. Which has almost made me want to disable it so only people who are subscribed can chat. Though I ideally did not want to have to do that. And still haven't to this day. But if they ever get like so bad where we absolutely had to, we probably would. But they haven't been too bad. And Isabel and a few others have been really good at making sure they get deleted from chat, so it hasn't been that big a deal. Demand a recount. It was winning by a lot. I was actually kind of surprised how many people chose Necromancer. Like, there was 4 options and it had like 40-something%. Which for 4 options is quite a lot of people. Like, it almost had half with 4 options. Like, it nearly had the majority, despite there being 4 choices. You don't get the point of these bots. I still don't either. And I see them literally every single day we ever do anything. I also see even more than you guys, because there's some that YouTube actually does block when we're not streaming, like on my videos. Also, thank you, Isabel, for 27 months of support. That's one of the highest ones as well. Actually, that might have been exactly when we started. I think there's only been a few people, and you are one of them that has supported it the entire time. Greatly appreciated. Oh, you also sent a dono. Greatly appreciate. Oh, the $30. Oh, is that for next season? Thank you for that. Greatly appreciate it. I did see that. I really need to fix those notifications. I still haven't. The ones on YouTube sides go through for that, but the other ones, I do not. Like, I can see that I just got it, but it doesn't do anything on screen. Probably should adjust those at some point. I've been meaning to switch over my whole system and still haven't yet. I really need to. Because I want to switch off of Streamlabs OBS to a non-one that has less controversy than just any other one that doesn't have 1.5 billion controversy like they do. I still kind of been using them. I use OBS when I record my videos, but I use OBS, what is it called? OBS Studio? Because it's a different thing. Oh yeah, Streamlabs OBS, that's the one. I think it's just called Streamlabs now because they literally like had to change it by law or something. There was some kind of whole mess with them. They've got into so many controversies already over the years. But yeah, thank you for that, Isabel. But yeah, Isabel, every season pass brought to you by Isabel. Because she's actually donated for every single season pass we've had, I think, ever? I think the only one I actually bought was the very first one. Every other one Isabel has graciously donated for. So I should almost mention that Isabel is our sponsor of every time we did a season pass. Because she basically is. Not directly, because it's not like an actual sponsorship thing. It's just a donation that's happened to be what we use it for each time. But it nearly is at this point. Which is kind of funny. Although it's not actually a sponsorship, so I don't actually have to disclose the thingy thing. But I think everyone kind of knows at this point. I think you only really have to disclose it if it's directly the person benefiting. Like, for example, if one of the Gems of War devs came to me and was like, hey, I need you to cover a video on this and say this. And then in that video, I'd have to be like, oh, this is sponsored by the Gems of War thingy thing. Like, in that kind of situation, I would. Because obviously, Isabel has no association to the game. She just graciously supports the channel. Isabel's speech. Waiting an extra week to get the past mythic. Yeah, we will be going over that Monday night. We're actually getting 2 mythics almost back to back. We're getting a new mythic this Friday, which of course we always go over, and we're getting one on Monday, technically, if you have the bigger pass, which of course we do, so we'll be going over it then. We'll also be messing around with it on stream. Ideally, we'll cover a video on Tuesday as well. I feel like whenever I do, I cover the video a little bit later, mostly because it makes more logical sense to cover that one later, because a lot of people, of course, get the normal pass and not the bigger pass. So it tends to make a slightly more sense to cover whatever that mythic is. We still cover it on the night of, but the video on it I tend to cover closer to when it actually becomes accessible to more people, because it just makes more sense to. Because it might be a little confusing for people to reference a video from like 5 or 6 days back when they get the troop on a given day. Because most people are probably expecting it on the day of. So I normally cover on like Saturday or Sunday. Though we still cover on the stream of course. But the actual video normally doesn't go up until a little later. Who would even Google search the random things bots say? I have no clue. They're very obviously bots too. Though we did find one bot the other day that was pretending to be a bot that I didn't even realize was a bot. That someone in chat mentioned was a bot. I think it was even Genki as well. Like it was a bot form I never seen before. Because it seemed like a normal kind of comment. Just extremely out of context. Like the out of contextness of it kind of made it seem like, oh yeah, that's definitely a bot. But it didn't occur to me initially. Because sometimes people have conversations in chat and I just kind of lose track of where it's going. So I thought it was like one of those kind of instances. But no, it's just a bot that posts something kind of random. Like it's just a normal sentence, which doesn't even make much sense. Like it was pretty much just like a normal out of context sentence. I can't remember exactly what it was. But it was like 4 different words that formed a sentence that basically gave you like no idea of like anything. Like it was so ambiguous. It was just like a normal random comment, but a bot kind of thing. It was weird. Oh yeah, there's Genki. It's something like, even you like Elisa. Yeah, something like that. That's the one. Oh yeah, so it is 4 words long. I knew it was around that long. But yeah, something like that is what they said. Even you like Elisa or something. And I think it was during our Pokemon stream, so I was like, wait, is that a Pokemon's name? And I was like, that's definitely not a Pokemon's name. I know there's almost 1,000 of them like Gems of War troops, but while I forget most of their names, I know that is not one of them. What's the Pure Faction team? I personally ran the Pure Faction team with triple of the Legend, followed with 1 little bunny. Normally I put the bunny in 3rd. You can also literally just run with 4 of the Legends. It really depends how you want to go about it. There's not too many other options beyond that. Unless you want to run like 1 of each just for the fun of it. But I would advise mostly spamming the Legends. It's another one of those kingdoms where the Legends like the only thing that matters. For the most part. It's like any combination of like Legend plus bunnies. And I normally go 3-1 personally with the bunny in 3rd. And obviously the other 3 being the Legends. Let's see, throw that down. They want to build social credit before posting propaganda. Yeah, I still haven't really been following what's been going on in Ukraine, which is kind of interesting because my mom's actually from Ukraine. Her family actually had to leave Ukraine during one of the wars that happened like a while back. Likely something Russia was doing a while back. I'm not sure the full story on it. But they actually had to flee from Ukraine, which is why they're even in America to have begin with. Their whole family is from Ukraine. And then their whole generation had kids in America, and I'm one of them. Though I don't know a single word in Ukraine. And I've also never been there. What do we need here? I'll throw that down. One mana short. Luckily we have enchant. That's the easiest way to remember if you did not get enchant. As if that did not have full mana right there. I feel like I always forget, but luckily we got a Sacred Treasure from this one, so that's always cool to see. Great to get lucky off the loot, that is for sure. Your homework assignment tonight is to figure out how to pronounce Genki. Isn't it, Genki? I'm pretty sure it's Genki. I'm pretty sure it's Genki. I just feel like I always, even when I try to say it correctly, pronounce it wrong. Like, I can literally look at the pronunciation she has on her page and still get it wrong. I notice a lot of people get tacit wrong though, as well. Like a lot of people watch my videos don't, obviously, because I say it at like the beginning of every video I ever do. But like people who see the word for the first time generally get it wrong, which is kind of funny because it's actually just a word in the English language. But it's such an unused word that unless you have like a music theory background, most people don't tend to use. Like it's a normal word used in like actual sentences, but it's a word used in actual sentences that tends to not get used. Like for example, unawares is a word I didn't really realize that much existed until two things ended up using it. One was the Pokemon game we've been playing, where it happens a lot because whenever you catch them unawares, it says it. But also, it was actually used in Puzzle Quest 3 today, which I got a good laugh out of. But yeah, that's like one of those words where it's like, oh, I never realized that's a word, because you think it's like unaware, but unawares is actually a proper English word. But it's one of those ones that gets used so little that when you hear it or see it used, it's like, oh, I didn't realize that's a word. Like you almost think it's just like a typing mistake, but it's actually a word. It does be an actual word. Yeah, or I definitely do not get Erosian correct either. Don't you want to be called by a different name? I can't remember if you were the one. Because I know there was a name similar to that wanted to be called by something else, but I keep forgetting what that name was, so I keep having to default back to whatever your YouTube name says. Because I'm really bad at remembering alternative names for everyone. So I tend to just go based on what the username is. Like, Tyrion's here all the time, but I forget the other name that he keeps going by. I know it begins with an S, but I always forget it because I keep forgetting everyone's, like, second name. Whatever's on the profile is what I remember. But I try my best. Oh, what do we take here? I'll take that over. It used to be a really big issue when we initially came over to YouTube as well, because everyone on Twitch had like a different name than what they had on YouTube. So I pretty much had to like relearn literally everyone's name back around like what, 6 years ago when we switched over to YouTube from Twitch. Which honestly was probably the best decision for the channel we could have ever made. Still not sure what the point of streaming on Twitch is. Like unless you're like really already like established. I don't quite get the point. Like, unless you're really good at, like, social networking with, like, everyone. Because it is a bit easier to social network on Twitch compared to on YouTube. But if you like just doing your own thing in isolation, YouTube's a lot better. Because it is harder to collaborate on something like YouTube. That's normally not too big a deal, though. Your other homework assignment is tonight is to learn how to pronounce Tyrian. Wait, is that not how it's... how on earth would you say Tyrian? 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 Oh, is it Turian? Almost sounds like Surian. But Surian is spelled so much different than Turian. If that's how you actually say it. Is it Turian? Is that actually how you say it? He has never once stopped me when I said Tyrian, though. Or is it the second part I'm doing wrong? Is it Tyrian? But that's not how you spell Ryan, though. Tyrian? Tyrian. So I'm pronouncing every part of the word wrong is what you're saying. So you're trying to say there isn't a specific part of the word that I am saying correctly. Well, technically the last syllable I am. Tyrian? Oh no, is that... I see here. Do we have a Tyrian here to confirm the actual pronunciation? Because he's either gotten tired of me saying it wrong so many times or just doesn't care. Or I'm saying it correctly. One of the three. He's not here right now, though. So we do not have the official confirmation. I don't think he's here. If you're here, please say anything in chat. Ideally, the answer. Let's see. No, I have not watched Game of Thrones. Nope. I have not seen anything of Game of Thrones, though I have been spoiled, at least in regard to that the final season is awful. That's the only thing I know about Game of Thrones. Like, it has some, like, medieval stuff, has some dragons, and the final season was the worst season. That made everyone, like, forget about the entire series because it was so bad. But yeah, I do not remember, or I don't know anything about Game of Thrones, pretty much. Never seen a single episode. Not even sure what streaming platform it's on. If I had to guess, it's probably Netflix. But that could also be wrong. Because if in doubt, Netflix probably owns it. It's either Netflix or Disney. Though the ones that Disney owns are a bit more obvious. I'm pretty sure it's not a Disney-owned IP. Pretty sure it's Netflix or... Wait, would it have been... No, it wouldn't have been Hulu. Hulu's too small to own something like Game of Thrones. Oh, was it HBO? That also sounds possibly correct. It would either have to be Netflix or HBO. One of those would sound correct. Oh, it is HBO Max. Okay. Yeah, I have no clue a single thing on what's on HBO Max. Like, if my life depended on naming a single show on HBO Max, I would fail. I don't know a single one. Same as Netflix. Like, I can't name a single series that's on either of them. With, like, 100% accuracy. Like, if I named something, it would just be a pure guess. I was about to say, I'm surprised we're still one-shotting, as I don't one-shot. I was about to say it, and then it didn't happen. Though I'm not actually using armor right now, so I'm surprised we even one-shotted this far. Because I believe I'm using magic build, where I should be using... I am. Whoops. Oh, also, I didn't screenshot it. I got a 32 tribute earlier. It happened last night. I unfortunately clicked so quick that I couldn't click it. But I got my highest tribute ever, a 32, which gives 31 gems. Unfortunately, I did not screenshot it. Though it's pretty believable. Obviously, we get pretty high tributes. But it was the highest I've seen so far. It was 4 kingdoms off from being every kingdom. But I clicked through it so quickly, like I normally click tribute, that it went away before. Like, I could see what the tribute was, but then it went away. And I couldn't screenshot it because I clicked so quick. Anyways, what was I doing? Oh yeah, I was changing my medals. I knew I was about to do something. I wanted to change to pure armor because Romain needs it to not to be able to kill properly. Because we're starting to get deep enough where it actually matters that the has armor instead of magic. Because magic doesn't give it nearly as much damage because it gets double boost ratio from armor. Whereas every magic it has is 1 damage, but every armor it has is 2 damage. Not to mention you get more armor when you do it, because you only get 4 magic when you do Anisha, but you get 8 armor when you do the guard. So you should always be going armor buff when doing a Romain or guard's avatar build, as they get more overall damage from having armor than they do from having magic. Unless something else on your team desperately needs magic to keep the team together, you normally go armor with them, just to increase the scale of how far their damage can go. Similar to why you do magic for Phoenicia, because its main component of scaling is magic, so you need that to increase the scale of how far it can kill. You normally don't even go with a third, or you don't even go with a 20%, you normally go with 3 Nishas in that case, when you're doing with something like her. And similar to this, we do with 3 armors. Same as Guard's Avatar. Guard's Avatar also runs with 3 armors. And it's mostly to maximize their better stat for doing damage. Also, we're almost about to gain a level. Though I'm not sure we're actually going to be able to reach it. Actually, we've been gaining XP a bit slowly lately. I'm not even sure if we'll be able to go and hit level 1,800 by the end of this year. We'd really have to power grind the Vault Weekends and similar things. Though I do eventually want to hit it. I feel like when we hit level 2,000 in this game, we are truly, like, completed. Everything there is in this game. At whatever point we finally get around to that. Though we're talking, like, 3-4 years from now at this point. But I feel like at that point, I will feel like we have done absolutely everything there is to do in this game. Yeah, I've never seen Game of Thrones, so any of the references you keep mentioning, I will have no clue. My highest was 28, nice. That was when your husband clicked on it, that's funny. Aeroplane. Let's see, we'll throw that down. Yeah, I never watched Suicide Squad either. Actually, the only character I know that's in there is, oh gosh, what's her name? Harley something. Catch you later, Genki. Thanks for stopping by. Best of luck with everything. Hopefully we'll get the patch next week. There's no way it's not happening next Tuesday. I'd be exceedingly surprised. Yeah, Harley Quinn, that's the one. Or Quinn, I mean. I'm gonna say her name wrong now, too. Yeah, Harley Quinn. I've actually never seen any movie that has her in it. Though I have seen a lot of art of her just like circling the internet. Which is like the only reason I even know she exists. But I've never actually seen any IP she was actually from. Even though I know what it's originated from. Tyrion? Okay, so it is Tyrion. Thank you, Tyrion, for confirming your name. I will try to pronounce it as Tyrion. Though similar to Genki, I probably will keep getting it incorrect. Tyrion. Like, I can't look at that combination of words and think Tyrion is the only problem. Like, I see the combination of letters, and the only thing I can see is Tyrion. But yeah, it is Tyrion. It has been confirmed by Tyrion himself. I will try to remember. Though don't be too disappointed if I still call you Tyrion. It almost sounds like an Eevee evolution. Almost does. Yeah, they dropped a new trailer for the next generation. Though, if it's not better than Pokemon Legends Arceus, it's going to be super disappointing. Because they set the bar so high now that it's so easy for them to do worse. And it'll be very disappointing if they do. I think we need more damage. I do not feel like a Rowan there would have killed. Alright, there we go. That should be all the points we need. No, we need one more battle fail. Actually, maybe 2 more battles, actually. Now that I think about it. Tywin? Oh no, I look at that and I see the word... Yeah, I would say Tywin. Yeah, if I see T-Y-W-I-N, I would probably pronounce that as Tywin. Or T-Win. No, Tywin sounds better. I probably would say it as Tywin. Well, when I look at that other word, I definitely don't see Tyrion. It sounds a lot more formal as Tyrion, though, compared to Tyrion. Like, Tyrion sounds like someone's name. Tyrion sounds like you're, like, the leader of an army. Let's see what to get over. Grabs. Oh, I should take a blue first. Whoops. I'll catch you later, Ricardo. Thanks for stopping by. Hope you have a wonderful week. Also, we'll be ending pretty soon, too. As soon as we finish out this faction. Probably call it a night. As my voice is already, like, so shot from earlier. We're doing the same thing again tomorrow. Hopefully we'll be able to get it done tomorrow, if nothing else. You know, I might as well finish the whole faction while we're here. And then call it a stream. Get that little bit of extra loot. We're gonna, they have teased that we're going to be getting, we don't know what the troops are or anything. But they have mentioned that we're going to be getting more faction troops for every kingdom, so anytime we can get a little bit more shards, I probably should. I'm not going to do the daily ones, but if we're already like in the process of doing something like this, we might as well get a little bit more out of it. We get a 2 times multiplier for it too, instead of the 1 times thingy. So I'll get a little extra value from it as well. Because every single time you move forward during one of the tiers on a Tuesday event or on a weekend event, you actually get a full amount of loot rather than a reduced amount. Because if you keep doing on 500, I believe you're getting a 1 times multiplier. Whereas every single one of these starts at a 2 times multiplier for the over amount of loot. So basically this multiplier right here starts at ×2 rather than at ×1, which means we're at a 3.3 right now instead of a 2.3, which gives you a little bit more loot overall. And most notably, it affects the final chest by a whole 1 times multiplier. So if you would have gotten something like, I don't know, what's a good example? If you would have gotten something like 9 from a 3 times, you would have instead gotten 12 in that situation. Doesn't matter what resource it is, that just would have been the shift. That's what the difference that a 1 times would have made. So basically it's about a 25% then to the total if you look at it that way. Well, maybe not. In that particular instance it is, but you know, it's a 1 times more. So whatever the difference in loot that is. That was just an easy example to do the math on. Two comments listed on RimWorld tied to factions. Is there? I have the page open. I didn't actually really look at them though. Let's see. That's weird if it would be 2 for the exact same one though. One thing is kind of curious is we're not actually getting any this weekend. Because we're getting a repeat faction event this weekend, but there's no troops marked here. We have a new mythic coming in, but that's very useless. But no new troops. Like this is coming out this Friday. This is coming out on Monday. This is coming out on Monday. That one's a paywalled one though. So what's this? This thing has cool troop art. What is that? Interesting. It looked cooler from a distance. That looked very much more interesting from a distance. While we're here, let's go look at some of the more interesting troop art. Let's see. That is, I assume, a fairy dragon, though there's no fairy in this type. Oh, no, fae is considered it. So it's a dragon fae, let me guess. It is indeed a fae dragon, obviously from Bright Forest. Let's see, what does this do? It actually looks pretty cool. Let's keep clicking on all the ones that look cool and just keep reading what they do. And then we'll end the stream. Spoilers for the rest of the stream. Stuff coming in the future, subject to change. Let's go see all the ones that have cooler troop art. Though, any that have cooler troop art are generally going to be horrifically bad troops. So let's see. The other fairy dragon was also horrible, but let's see how this one is. Actually, there's 3 of them. Actually, every fairy dragon that has ever existed has been bad. Let's see. It converts purple gems to green and then deals a bunch of damage to an enemy. Oh, so it basically does what the other one does. Interesting. The other one is blue to green. What's his side effect, though? Boosted by green gems converted. There is none? Oh, he's a lower mana cost version as an epic. I see. Fireproof, arcane, mana... Yeah, it's kind of underwhelming. Though, it can be used in arena, and in the context of arena, that's actually really good. Because you would never see the other one in arena unless you summon it off like random dragon, off like baby dragon or something. So that's interesting. I don't really see it being useful outside the context of arena. This actually looks kind of cool. Something for Donna. And then we don't have any more troop. Oh, no, there's still more. What is that? A robot thing? Oh, no, it's just a mummy thing. That's just that's as standard as a Kedar troop you could possibly get. I got some wolf thing. Which, if I had to guess, that's from Grim Woods. Which it is. Generally, if you guess anything war gear related, it's probably from Grim Woods. Some orc that looks very orky. Some kind of fairy that looks very fae-like. A lot of more generic-y ones. Well, some of them look a bit more... What on earth is that thing? What is this supposed to even be? It might be a tarot card. No, it's a common. Interesting. That's a weird common. That's a pretty cool troop art. Some kind of generic mummy, something for Blackhawk as a thief. I didn't think about that. They didn't have any black thieves yet, did they? From Blackhawk. I think some other kingdoms do, but I don't think specifically Blackhawk had one yet. Do they? I don't believe they do. They have a parrot though. They got the parrot. The parrot thief. He pirates everything. Let's see. But I don't think they had one. Unless you count Deathblade. Though theoretically he's like the inverse coloration. Yeah, they had like everything here for a rogue. Except for that. Like almost every possible ethnicity. And creature size. Man, I never noticed that. Well, there they go. Let's see. What else looks interesting? This looks like some kind of interesting mech. Another Adana one. I wonder if they're coming in at the same time. Probably not. Oh, it's Adana, next, well, that spoils what next season is. Next season ends in Adana because we had the Terra card and the other thing. That makes sense. It's even a mythic. So yeah, that's next, this is next pass's, mythic. We don't know anything about it, except that's what the next, paywalled, mythic is. You'll still be able to get in the future, but you know, this is the one for season 9, like almost guaranteed. Let's see, what else do we have here? A little vulture. Some kind of, imp-looking thing. And a bunch of things with so little info that they don't even have a art done for them yet. They just have a kingdom association and a name. And nothing else. Oh, there we go. Interesting. But yeah, troop art-wise, I do like this one the most out of all these. Too bad it's completely useless and only going to ever get drafted in Arena. And the amount of times we're going to be doing Arena is like nearly none. Though we do have a pretty good Arena run going from Monday, or from yesterday, I mean. And we'll do that whenever we need the other 2 kills. We almost went Pure Dragon. The little archer got in the way. But I saw the guy that like buffed it. And it was like, oh, because we already had one, it's like, oh, let's go Pure Dragon. Then we got Drake, and it's like, oh, we'll go Pure Dragon. And then the comment was like, nope, you're not going Pure Dragon. No, at least I had synergy, so it still worked out. Anyways, let's go finish out this faction, then we'll call it a night. I think we have like 2 battles left or something. So let's go do these. And then we'll wrap it up there. If anyone still has any other questions, do let me know. Otherwise, of course, we will be back tomorrow night, same time as always, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 1 hour prior to now tomorrow. During the... Oh, come on, die already. During the day tomorrow, we'll be messing around with Puzzle Quest 3, reading through, ideally, most of the storyline. I don't think we'll be able to get through the entirety of it tomorrow, but we'll definitely be able to get a lot of progress on it, if nothing else. So we'll be doing that and going from there. Ideally, we'll be finishing through Chapter 4 to 13 or 4 to 12, probably realistically 4 to 12. And then whatever we don't finish, we will do on Thursday stream. Although Thursday stream will be a little bit later because I have a few things I need to get done in the morning. So we'll be up a little bit later than normal for the stream time start. But our goal is to basically get it done before the end of Thursday stream during the day. And the stream for tomorrow, ideally I want to start around 9 a.m. But it might be slightly off if I need more sleep. But the goal number is 9 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, and we'll go from there. Anyways, guys, and of course, Gems of War, same time as always tomorrow night. But anyways, guys, I'll be back later. Hope you all enjoy your week. Thanks for stopping by as always. Greatly appreciated. And I will catch you guys soon. Goodbye, everyone, and thanks for watching. You don't recommend watching me on 2x speed? I know, that'll probably be so hard to hear. I don't know how anyone even watches me on 1.5x speed. Because someone was earlier for the Puzzle Quest stream. And it seems like it would be really hard to do, especially when I'm doing dialogue for characters. Because almost sound like little chipmunks probably in a very weird accent. Anyways, guys, I'll catch you guys later. Thank you so much for watching. Goodbye, everyone. And thank you for the $30 donation, Isabel, as well as for continuing to support the channel. Greatly appreciate it as always, and helps out a lot. Goodbye, everyone.